Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to counter double jungle, or when a top laner tries to do the raptors or the wolves. How do you counter that? How do you deal with that without doing that yourself? Well, one thing that you can do is do it yourself, and then you're at an even ground. But there's certain champions that you can do something even better that will set the other top laner extremely behind. So if they double jungle, the only person who will get an advantage off of it will be the bottom lane if they did the smite for them strat. But right here in this game, this guy's actually just doing a level 1 camp. He's not really double jungling. So the reason I'm showing this is because that actually leads to him getting to the tower quicker. Like, that's way quicker than double jungling. He can get to his tower like at 2:35 instead of 3 minutes in. Now why that matters is because even when he does the camp instead of the double jungle, and double jungle is insanely popular now, so a lot of people are just double jungling, right? But even if they do the camps, you can just still do this strat. It will still work out in your favor. So I'm just a Renekton. So what you need is the top laner with AoE clear. That AoE clear. Now this, I'm talking about Aatrox, Lissandra, Renekton, Karma, Blad. Like, you can level E on Blad and do it. So what you do is you walk up to the wave, you AoE it down. You're basically just trying to push the first wave to the tower as quick as possible. But you're also going to try to push the second wave to the tower as quick as possible. So Renekton is really, really good at this. If you do it as efficiently as possible, Renekton can actually get the wave to the tower at 214. Now I believe I'm going to get it about 217 right here. So basically you try to get every last CS. I mean, try to push as efficiently as possible, but you want every last CS because every little bit of gold counts here. Alright, so I got it there at 222. So it was a little bit late than it should have been. Trust me, because you can do it way earlier if you do it better than I did. Because it doesn't really matter if you take that much damage. But you don't want to take too much damage that the top laner can commit to you. So I went up to the wave. When you push the first wave to the tower, now that the creeps are tanking, you can actually walk up to the wave earlier. And this is good because it allows you to AoE it earlier. Alright, so I got my level 2. So I'm not able to get cheesed anymore because I got that one creep. And I got my rage Q. So once again, I'm going to push it. Boom. Boom, gonna use my rage Q, gonna use my W because I don't care. I'm just trying to push quick. Now, I got 11 CS, he's got 4 CS. He came to lane with his Doran's Blade and his 5 pots. And that's okay with me. I don't care if he has Doran's Blades and 5 pots because I'm about to back. Now what he can do is try to interrupt me, but then he'll miss out on a lot of CS. So I'll still be able to come out a little bit ahead. But most of the time they'll just farm it because, I mean, really, like 5 CS just to interrupt the back. At the end, that's gonna make it worth it for me. So I got to back to base. But check it out. How much gold do I have? I have 836 in total. 61 because I already spent my gold. Oops. I bought cloth armor and I can buy 2 pots. And then I can TP back to lane. So I come back to lane with a Doran's Blade, cloth armor, and 3 pots versus Doran's Blade and 5 pots. Now who do you think is gonna win that? Especially if this is a Riven where early armor like really, really messes him up. And especially Renekton kind of does really well against Riven, so that's another thing. But the whole point is, even though he just did a level 1 camp, I was actually still able to push it on him. And he's a pretty good AoE wave clearer. So like, some people will be able to clear the wave and interrupt you. But not a lot of top laners will be able to do that. Plus, not a lot of them will think about doing it. So I came up with an advantage, but he's level 3, so I gotta watch out for that. But nothing's gonna happen. I'm just gonna back off. That's not the point of this video. The point is, there's a lot of people that you can do this against, and you can either even it out by getting the pots, or you can get a cloth armor against a lot of the AD matchups, and that'll give you a pretty good advantage in lane. So that's how to counter double jungle, because sometimes your jungler doesn't want to do it, or he just wasn't paying attention, or you don't want to do it because, I don't know, you just want to do this strat. A lot of times when I'm Renekton and it's this kind of thing, I don't want to do it because I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna push 2 waves, I'm gonna get my cloth armor, and I'm gonna destroy this lane because I'm gonna be way stronger than this Riven. Like, I've only used 1 pot so far. She has 1 pot left. You see that? That's the power of that cloth armor, of that extra 15 armor, coupled with the fact that I'm a sustained top, that I can actually heal extra, and the fact that it's a really good matchup for me to begin with. So that's why I'm not even mad at the camps. I used to hate them, but now that you can find a counter to it, and now that people are doing double jungle, it's like a lot easier to deal with that kind of thing. So yeah, that's how to counter double jungle. There's a lot of different top laners that you can do it as. If you got an AoE ability, you can basically do it. And there's a few that can't solo a camp but can actually do it. For example, Lissandra, um, Blad, you can lower your E on Blad and do it. It doesn't matter if you take too much damage because if they're double jungling, they won't even get to you in time. They'll be like, they'll get there too late to even try to interrupt you. And if they're doing a camp, you just have to play right. You just have to play it safe. Make sure it's not a top laner who can commit to you and not be right there when he TPs. You know, just push the wave as quickly and efficiently as possible. And most people will be stuck at the tower farming. Meanwhile, you got your item advantage and you feel pretty good about that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. How to counter double jungle. Whenever your team doesn't want to do it, whenever you don't feel like doing it, or when you can't solo a camp at level 1, or you just don't want to. For example, in this game, I remember Lee asked me if I wanted to double jungle. I specifically said, no, I got something up my sleeves. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna get a cloth armor, and I'm gonna get an absolute advantage in lane. As you can see, she's about to get 4 CS, so it's 26 to 21 CS right now. Most of that is what I denied her at the tower, but also just with the item advantage, I'm gonna be able to force her out soon. And if you see the TP cooldowns, mine is not that much longer than hers. It's about 15, 10 seconds longer. So the only thing that I missed out on was 10 seconds longer of a cooldown on TP. Meanwhile, I got an item advantage. I got nothing to complain about there. That's just a great absolute advantage for me there, and I think any top laner would take this advantage if they could every game. Just remember, if your top laner has an AoE push, an AoE wave clear that you can use at level 1, then all you gotta do is walk up to the creep wave, start using your spells. It's very important that you do it right here, that you walk up to the creep wave right here, because it's about time. You want to do it as quickly as possible. So even if you have to take a little bit of damage, you want to get those creeps to that tower as quickly as possible, and you want to get to the second wave as quickly as possible, just so you can damage it down. So there's that. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment. I'm gonna be posting more tops, top lane tips like brush tips and other things that just stuff that people miss. And this strat right here, what you guys are seeing right here, it is not done to me very often. I have had, like, maybe in the past 30 games where I've double jungled, like maybe 25 of them, maybe one person did this. Even when they had a champion that was capable of doing it, maybe one person did this, and I was just like, why? I guess people are just unaware that you can do this thing, you know, that this is kind of like a pretty good counter to when people double jungle, because they're trying to get the level advantage, they're trying to get the sustain advantage, and just go around and flip the tables on them. So yeah, remember to subscribe if you like the channel, if you want more tips. I'm out. Peace. Hope this video helped. Let me know anything. Peace.